where there's a little lag. Sorry about that. I will actually go back and cut the video out in the front to make this good. Sounds good. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Cheers.
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 To the best day
ever. That's our saying every morning with coffee.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, so it's
the
good
fringe
to see
minority that has a brain that can think for themselves. Turdo came up with that. You know that?
He did.
Remember that?
Yes, he did. The fringe.
Canadians
By the way,
were rallying
Tucker
for
Carlson.
freedom.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
We're speaking over each other.
Go ahead.
Tucker Carlson interviewed his brother the other day. It was very interesting. So.
It was. He believes. So Tucker Carlson actually reached out to him on with a question. He asked for questions from the people that are on tuckercarlson.com, and he would answer them personally. And I gave him a question from the community, and I told him about the fringe. It had to be 30 seconds, so it was really fast. I said, the fringe minority, the people that don't do what the government says just because they say so, they have a brain that can think for themselves, would like to know what to do as we enter the Thunderdome. And I had to give a brief explanation of the Thunderdome. And if you're not familiar, anything goes after 2020. Post 2020 I consider it the Thunderdome, where anything's on the table. That's why we constantly have to watch. We have to pay attention to what's really going on with the chicken flu, the bat flu. I can't say a good friend, a close family member of mine just got West Nile all of a sudden, and then he got COVID again. There's a lot of stuff rolling out about the jab. I'm still gun shy. They will take me down quicker than a cat can lick its rear. Anyway,
So.
that's pretty fast.
Chris and his sayings. All right, well, let's keep going. This week, these last couple weeks have been just like chock full of news. I would literally come out with something and tell Chris what was happening, and 5 seconds later, it was old news and something else had come out.
What's
I mean,
the news? What are you gonna talk about?
Let's talk about the economy first, and all the stuff or the bond market, or the guys dumping the bond and going to oil, and cost of living now, and I mean, it is just, you name it. Let's start with
Cost of living is a good one, but yeah, we can talk about bonds too. I've actually got a story from one of the many bond kings. He's actually getting out of bonds, and he's saying he's investing in oil and gas. And I have to say, I'm long. I'm long oil, Chevron, Exxon. I'm short retail. I can't really name the ones that I'm short at the moment because I just sold them. It's right there. It's so close to, it's doing the whole death roll. It likes to come back and fill gaps like I showed you in my videos, and they really look like they're, if it goes down, it's going to be drastic, and then they'll probably have a pump back up. That's why it's important to be a trader. By the way, get your trading view set up. I've been telling my mother this. I told her about Bitcoin when it was $6,000 or $7,000. I said, hey, this is going to be a big deal. It might be something we could buy and sell. And I bought a long time ago. And she waited. She waited till it was like 50 grand. I told her the other day, I said, hey, get your trading view set up, get a computer, get your monitors, get everything you need, start getting familiar with paper trading. And I've told her that about 10 times.
Yes.
It's to the point where I'm kind of done, So, but I'm going to keep encouraging her and you guys to consider learning how to trade. I don't want anybody to be holding the bag as it goes to the bottom. If you have chickens, you have flies, and that's a bummer. So consider getting your trading view set up and get, I plan on riding it down to the bottom and back up and then back down to the bottom. It's been a lot of fun so far, and I noticed the guy that was the bond king, he thought 7% was really good. That's a big deal for a money manager to make 7%.
For investment, yeah, for return, yeah.
I've made 15%.
Yeah, you have.
And I would have done it sooner, but I had to make all the mistakes first, and I had to dig myself out of that hole. So that's a lot of where I've been in not doing the live streams and not doing as many videos. I have been crazy focused on learning trading. I've been through 3 or 4 different courses, and I'm actually starting to come up with kind of a conglomeration of what actually works for me, and it might be different for you. Anyway, I don't want to go off on the trading too much. I just want people to get ready. You know?
I agree. Before we go any further, and I want to talk about what's going on, because we ran some stats of what it actually costs to live in the United States at this point. But before we go any further, I want to read just a quick.
Please do.
I like some Proverbs, as you guys all know. In Proverbs 5, it says, "Do not be hasty in word or impulsive in thought to bring up a matter." And there's so many times that we speak our thoughts, we say something without thinking, and I like that. I'm big on. I tend to do that. I get emotional and impulsive. And go ahead, you want to
So,
speak?
Mr. Eddie, the man that gives away his silver to the community,
Yes.
he told me something the other day about that. And it is, don't ever say in anger what you'll regret in leisure.
Oh, that's a good one.
And we could all think about that as family's a good one. You know, they can drive you up the wall. They know exactly what buttons to push and to make you lash out. And then at Christmas time, makes it uncomfortable. You got to be around them anyway. You actually do love them. You don't like what they're doing. You know, whatever it is. So that was a good one. Kind of goes along with your scripture.
Yeah, it does. By the way, we are going to be giving away the winner of the community post with free silver giveaway, and I might see if I can talk him into giving away another one because we have some from Mr. Eddie here. But yeah, so
Mr. Eddie, Mr. Eric's got some too?
I don't have any from Mr. Eric right now. These are Mr. Eddie's.
Okay.
But Mr. Eric does give away. And then you guys put in the comments where you're from. I'd like to know, and get in the comments also, because we have some questions that the community members have been asking. And so I'd like to know your feedback also. But where are you guys from?
Did I ever tell you what the question was for Tucker Carlson?
You did a few minutes.
No, I didn't tell you exactly what it was.
Okay.
And because this is how important your questions are to us in the comments, and a lot of them we can't answer because you have to come up with that answer on your own. But the question to Tucker Carlson was, how do you intend on getting ready for CBDCs, the Thunderdome,
Dollar collapsing.
dollar collapse? What do you think about precious metals? You know, the financial side of how we're supposed to prepare. And because he's been able to interview some really, I don't know what you'd say, incredible guests. You got to stand toe to toe with him, look him in the eye. And he's an intelligent person too, so I would like to get his thoughts on what's going to happen in the Thunderdome with our monetary policies. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
I'm going to touch base with him 10 times.
I hope he takes you up on it.
That's another one. If you want something, make 10 attempts. If you really want it, make 10 attempts at whatever you want. Okay?
Bud is pretty good at that.
Bud rocks that one. He will make 35 attempts in one day.
All right, let's talk about this. So I came across this article, and let's talk about. And first, I want to talk about some stats real quick, and then you get into what you've got, because you said how people are downsizing and what they're doing because the financial what's going on right now. A recent study has revealed that the income needed for families to live comfortably across the United States, you guys, it's nearly $300,000 in most of the expensive states. In the super cheap states, well, low income states, you got to have at least $100,000. They said in Mississippi, which is one of the lower incomes, it requires $177,000. You guys, for 4 people, a family of 4, to live comfortably. However, the annual salary is around $60,000. And if you guys go to the grocery store and you look at people's shopping carts, I don't know if you guys do, but I do. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I walk through the aisles that I don't even typically buy stuff, like the processed stuff and all that, and I look at what people's shopping carts have in them. And unless they're on like some kind of government assistance, which you can tell when they check out, their shopping carts are going down. But that's really sad. So just to exist, you got to have 300. Just to exist in a low income state, you got to have 177,000. I don't know a lot of people that make that, unfortunately.
Well, you got to take in consideration it's an average. So they're taking San Francisco and
They said high income
Huddy,
states
Arkansas.
were
So all high income states. This is all high income.
high income states. You had to make a bare minimum of 300,000 just to exist.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a lot.
The average home prices in these places is like $800,000, $900,000.
But the medium income is only around 60
Yeah, the
grand.
median income does not buy a medium house.
No.
It doesn't work. And what's going to happen in these places where the average home is close to $1 million or something crazy, and they're setting up actual parking lots for people to live in out of their car.
They are.
Like, this isn't right. They're setting up a toilet and wash station, and you can live in your car, no problem. As long as you stay and work and serve if you'll work and go to your job, we can't really afford to house you. I mean, slaves were kept better than this, right? For real, think about that. What has to happen for that to turn around? Well, sorry, your highfalutin area needs to come down a little bit, or you need to be able to pay them a living wage where they can actually afford a home. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to make that compromise. They want the people that are having the huge houses and driving Ferraris. Have you noticed? I heard George Gammon talk about that. Everywhere that he goes, him and Robert Kiyosaki were talking about there would be 1 or 2 Ferraris in the parking lot. Now it's full.
People are in debt, though.
No, well,
a lot of them.
There's a disconnect between the people that are very well off, and then the people that are servers that are barely scratching by. There's a massive gray middle area. The middle class is at the very bottom of it, unless you're some type of fabricator or tradesman.
So you're saying the people that drive these Ferraris are not paying the people that are working for them what they should be paying?
I'm saying that if you want to have a service, you have to pay them a living wage according to what everything costs around you. Otherwise, you don't get to have that service.
But they're not paying them enough, you're saying, so they're having to basically live in their cars.
Yeah, they can't afford an apartment. They have to live in their cars.
Well, I read a study the other day, and they said
I'm not saying they should be forced to pay or anything. I'm just saying what should happen is the free market should sort it out, and the people just go somewhere else and work somewhere else. And they just let that die, let the bubble pop and come back down, make housing affordable again. And people like us will go and invest and help build the area back up and have it start working, functioning again correctly.
So I read a study the other day, interesting, on a couple notes where people are not retiring as early as they used to. They're still working. You have more younger age people either living with their parents or they are actually buying houses with people that they don't actually have relationships with because they can't afford it on their own, or they're doing tons of roommates. So it's definitely changed.
I've got a list of what people are doing. If you may read them off.
Yeah, please. Because when I was single, I lived by myself. It was different then. Go ahead.
You almost can't do that now.
No, you can't. It's almost impossible. Go ahead.
Here's a list of what people are doing or can do. Longer commutes. That's common, right? Move to less desirable area. Get roommates. Move further from family. Buy a fixer-upper. Move out of state. Downsize. 28% of Americans will be doing living near a cemetery to spend less on a home. Taking on a side gig, borrowing money to go deeper in debt, cut back on food, cut back on health care. I'd call it a consultation with a guy that I think he was having trouble, or he just didn't care about the variable rate interest that went way up on him, and he didn't understand the consequences. And I tried to explain it to him. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the first things he tried to do was cut back on his health care. I was like, wait a minute, that's like the number one reason people go bankrupt.
It is.
So, but it's a perfect point to where people make rash, wild decisions when they start noticing they're in a bind. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'll just get rid of health care and I'll do this, that, and other. And then that's maybe not the thing to do. The thing to do would be get all your ducks in a row now and be prepared. And when it happens, it's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We've already planned for this. Stop saving for retirement. Cut back on leisure activities. I think a lot of people are about to cut back on leisure activities, and then I think What?
Oh, sorry. I was knocking a fly off of me. You
Got
guys
him.
just saw that. He hit me.
I got him. So, leisure activities, leisure goods, purses,
Yep.
Louis Vuitton,
Boats.
Ferrari, boats, that kind of stuff. But mainly really high-end retail, I think, has a huge downturn coming to the tune of maybe half. Like the last run, half. That's what I'm looking for in the retail drop. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but we are very close. They might pump it up through election year. That's the hard part to figure out. But as they do, it's going to present a buying opportunity way down there at the bottom.
So I'm curious, are you guys seeing people buy more high-end items? We personally are not, but I've never really kind of been that type of person. However, I came to Chris with an interesting story the other day. Remember Rent the Runway? So this is they buy high-end items and they allow you to rent them. And they claimed on media that they were doing good. They've never had a profit in like 3 years, but all of a sudden, we're about to have a really great profit. And the actual owner got on the news media and they pumped that stock up so much and then it dumped. And so I don't know. I think people really aren't even renting them. I think they're not really doing high-end items.
I think that's kind of a GameStop thing. GameStop memes are coming out and things going up that make no sense. GameStop, no sense whatsoever. I don't know how to get in and out of those well enough. I know that I could probably do okay, but then the next trade I'd probably do bad. So I don't mess with that. But
Tracy said yes. She's still seeing people buy. I'd like to know what they're buying then, because I'm not seeing it as much.
Oh, real quick before I forget, while you're talking about what the community has said, what about the pallet? The guy that works at the company that provides pallets of food goods to restaurants, to fast food restaurants. That was a good one. Can you tell that story?
Yes, Steve. I love you guys. I think he's actually on here right now. He was telling me that he works and they provide like paper goods and stuff like that to fast food restaurants. And their production has gone way down. And he started noticing the pallets that were being delivered, they could put the stuff on, has also gone way down. They're fixing them up. There's not brand new ones. They're tacking them together to the point where they can't even get the forklifts almost into the pallets. So he's noticing a way downsize. And also, speaking of that, I was talking to a store owner the other day. She has a store that has like wine, beer, little cups and stuff like that. And she said she noticed that people are paying more in cash in the last 6 to 8 months. She said it was very odd. She said, and I don't know, she's been in business quite a few years. And she said, I've never seen people pay in cash this much. And she said her financial advisor told her to go get cash out of the bank, stash it at her house, because the banking system was about to have a crisis. That's her words, not mine. And that's kind of unusual for a financial advisor. Usually they tell you to keep it in the money market, stocks, bonds. Speaking of bonds, you can talk about that. But thought that was kind of interesting.
I did that video yesterday. It was really interesting. China and other countries persistently selling bonds. I want to try to think through that. What happens when other countries persistently sell U.S. bonds? They can't do it all at once. It would hurt them too. But as they move into other commodities, gold and oil and stuff like that, it's going to be nutty. It really is. Biden emptied the strategic oil reserves. You know, he sold the family jewels. He didn't do anything. Let me straighten that out. He doesn't know if he's washing, drying, or hanging out. No clue. Where's my ice cream cone? Smell the hair on my legs. You know, just phew, laughing stock of the free world. But it's what we have to work with. I hate talking about politics. I don't cover any of the election garbage. It's all over the place. I don't know what's true and what's not. What I do know is what I can see with my own eyes. When people tell me the dollar's going to be here forever, yes. But what I can see, a very simple thing would be to look and see how much the money purchases now. That's really simple. It's like, wow, inflation's bad. No, it's not. The CPI is this, that, and the other. Don't listen to it. I wanted to talk a little bit about the borrowing money to go deeper in debt. Guys, if you didn't catch the video, I want to make this really clear.
Oh, about the HELOCs and the stimulus. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people fall for this, and I think it is part of the plan for you to own nothing and rent everything. It makes perfect sense. And I tried to sell it on the channel as it's really exciting, right? But I just want to explain it really simply, and you fill in where I leave out, because I don't have the paperwork in front of me. I just got what things are going to happen, which is home improvements and all this other stuff for the loans. So you can now get a second mortgage, not to be confused with a HELOC.
Right.
HELOC equals credit card backed by your home. Fair?
Yeah, it's a
You
variable
pay it
rate
back,
interest.
pay it back, pull it out, pay it back. This is a one-time thing, possibly a 10 to 15-year fixed rate.
It sounds really good.
At 7% or 8, whatever. What is it? Interest rates are like 8 or
8%. So, but here's the interesting thing is if you guys think back to 2008, 2006, they were doing the exact same thing, but just kind of in a different format. They were going and taking out a loan for the down payment because they couldn't afford the down payment. So they would go to this bank, take out a loan for the down payment, and then go put that loan as the down payment and then get a loan for a house. So it's kind of like the same thing a little bit, but not quite. But it's on that. But it's basically you're buying a house that's inflated. And so now you've got equity in it. So you're going to take out another loan. And when your house drops, you're screwed.
This is Freddie Mac's proposal to closed-end mortgages. I want to make sure I understood closed-end mortgages. Closed-end mortgages allows homeowners to take out a new loan secured against their home's equity while still maintaining their existing first mortgage. First mortgage, you got a good interest rate, great, 3 point whatever, you can keep that one. And now you can get another one at 7 or 8 or whatever it is. And what do people do with this money? The normie, the common keep up with the Joneses, spend whatever they make paycheck to paycheck person. 10 most common things. I'm going to read them real quick. Home improvements, debt consolidation, education expenses, medical bills, starting or expanding a small business right before downturn, vacations, rental, boats, recreational vehicles, major appliances, vehicles and appliances, emergency fund, cash flow needs. Pay attention to that. There's no cash flow in pulling 100% debt on your home and spending it. That's actually debt. And a combination of smaller loans to pay off over time. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. You remember the other day when they threw out another snare?
Yep.
With, hey,
If you sell your house,
if you'll sell your house and move into a bigger house,
or
we'll
no,
give you
just another house.
$10,000.
It doesn't say a bigger
No,
house.
it did say
It did. It said
bigger
upgrade.
house, yeah.
It said if you started your starter home and you sold it, they would give you $10,000. However, if you did the math, you would pay so much more in interest right now because they're trying to get you to sell your home.
Well, I've got the math for you right here, real quick.
Yep, go for it.
50,000 income, 7% interest, little over 150,000. 3% interest, 200,000. 40% different. That's how do you make the decision to take $10,000 and then upgrade your house and pay $50,000? Because if you're going to buy the same house, it would cost you 40% more right now.
Yep,
at these interest rates. Mm-hmm. But wait, Biden wants your boat, so he's going to give you 10 grand to lock you down.
Yeah, it's called the fast cash and.
Property taxes, insurance, mortgage. Don't forget, things break. I want you to understand that they're laying out snares for people to jump into when things do get really bad. The big major investors, banks, the big six, these evil people are going to gobble up your homes and rent it to you and act like they're doing you a favor. Yep. It's part of it. Don't get caught up in it. I don't want to make a whole video about that again. But I just hate to see people do that. It's awful. It's awful cleaning up somebody's house that just a rent house that we found that we actually helped these people out. We kept them from blowing their credit completely away. We bought the house as is, fixed it up, and rented it. But it was hard seeing people. They were struggling, and it's like, I can't pay more than it's worth. And they fell in hard times. Fortunately, we were able to help them out quite a bit. Otherwise, they would have been without house and credit.
And one of these days, we're going to do a video again about how we did investment properties. But right now, properties are just too high, so we're not really pushing that agenda. But before we go any further, we're going to pick a winner for let's pick a winner for, this is the community post.
Oh.
So while you talk, I'm going to pick a winner. Go up, down.
Pick a winner. Have you seen, well, I'm talking about silver.
Silver has been on a run like crazy.
What is it now, 31?
31.68.
It's over 31 still?
Look right here.
I thought, see, it's hard to pick anything at the top.
31.68 is silver. That's the spot price. It will be that way till tomorrow at 5 p.m. Sunday when it opens back up. Gold is $2,419.40. And you guys, by the way, before we pick the winner, if you guys are interested in the premium price list, please text me, 318-564-5823. I will email you that. I send it out once a week. You can compare it with any other company out there. And real quick, because now you got me thinking.
You can put your email in the live chat right now. Just put your email in there. And
it's S.Taylor.
It goes away. It's not like it'll be up there forever.
S.Taylor at Gmail. S.Taylor at milesfranklin.com. You guys, please do not get scammed. Matter of fact, I just talked to Mr. Dalton again. He's one of the gentlemen that I talked to.
They're supposed to be putting hashtag silver too.
No, they're not. That's for the next one.
Oh.
This is for the community post.
Sorry.
So don't get scammed. Whatever you do, it seems like more and more people are getting scammed with either the premiums or the vaults. I don't care if you buy from me or not. And I even tell people, I'm like, I can't beat that price.
Well, we do
somewhere
care.
else.
You do, but you don't. If somebody can get it cheaper somewhere else, that's the goal.
I just don't want them to get scammed. Right. Call me and ask me what my price is. I don't mind. But just don't get scammed. But anyway, all right, let's get back to the drawing real quick because I'm so excited.
It is fun. Giving away Mr. Eddie's silver.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Eddie. Awesome dude. Awesome. He's actually learning how to trade. Mr. Eddie, please fill me in on how that's going.
Okay, going down.
It's a real struggle. Silver,
down.
see, I was thinking silver, after it went around 30, a little over 30, it would have a pullback. But that's the thing. That's how I got so deep in the hole in the beginning, as I was trying to short things at the top. And it's impossible. You have to wait. You don't have to wait for it to go back under the 200. I don't. Okay. Johnny Bravo says different. I don't do that. But you do have to wait till it gets to a certain area. So be careful. You don't have to dig yourself out of a hole, but it can be done.
All right. It is Bell, ISIMO 2943.
Bellissimo.
2943. If you're on
Bellissimo.
here, text me and I will mail this to you this week.
Bell is IMO.
I don't know. And also we have a happy birthday to
Grab this other paper.
Old Stoner -XN 4PE.
Old Stoner, he is awesome.
Well, happy birthday. I think you're turning 59 today. And then we have Miss Mary. She just got married and sent me a photo of her and her husband. So I'm so excited for you guys. And there you go. Bellismo 2943, you're the winner. So if you will text me, we will mail this to you this week. So it's very exciting. And then let's see, also I wanted to talk about Type 1 Silver Eagles. There's been a lot of questions about those. I'm talking to my shipping department right now to see what we have available. I don't have any 2021s right now, so I'm seeing what we have pre-2021s. So when I hear back from them, I'll let you guys know. We are running a few specials right now, so if you're interested, let me know also. But that's all I'll talk about on the silver stuff. Just don't get scammed. All right.
Back to the community. Okay, somebody reached out to Stacey, and it was about her mother and her father. She had them all fixed up, and they're getting elderly. One has dementia, the other one...
A little bit of memory loss also.
Okay, and I've been fortunate enough not to have to deal with that. My grandfather's 95 and still sharp as a tack. But this is happening more and more, and she says they have $65,000. What should she do? How could, what should she do to take care of her mother and father? She tried to get them set up, and for some reason they wanted to move somewhere else, and it kind of messed her plans up. So before you answer, go ahead.
No, well, she's concerned because they can't really remember what they have. They had left some money, I think, in a fridge. Someone took that fridge, so that money's now gone. So she's like, do I leave it in the bank? Do I put it in precious metals? Do I take the money myself? And she was asking me, and I said, I really don't know. And to be honest, I don't know if I would say put your money in the precious metals, all of it, because what if it goes down?
Right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Never put all of your money into one asset.
I agree.
Ever. I've lost money every time I've done that. It's too much, and when the price starts to drop out, because it will, the price will come down and it will scare people out. The market knows how to do that. I've learned so much from trading. If I would have done the 8 months of research that I did over the last 8 months 20 years ago, I would be much better off. So the people, that's why it's important to buy on these dips. So I called the silver second chance. Go look at the video. I was within maybe 25 cents, but I'll say 50 to be on the safe side. It was the silver second chance, and bink, and it went up. Now there will be a third chance, but this is not in stone. I mean, it could break it, but you set your stop loss, or you can use it to purchase metals. But just be sure that, do you know how many people have lost half their wealth the last time precious metals skyrocketed, and they said, well, that's real money, I'm just going to invest in that. And they put all of their money in precious metals, and then it went into half price. So many people.
Well, so go back to this lady's, dilemma. What would you advise her to do? Because she said, do I have them take the money out of the bank then?
That's the thing.
And put it in a safe at their house?
Nobody can do that. That's why I make
it?
videos. That's why I made the channel. You have to think through these things on your own and be comfortable with the decision you make, and you can't do it with somebody else telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot tell anybody what to do, nor do I want to. I don't want that responsibility. That's why I constantly mention what the wealthy do. Here's what the wealthy do: 10 to 20% in precious metals. That's it. And then they do other investments like short the euro. If you don't understand or know how to do that, you can do something else like, what would be the other one? Invest in Bitcoin. That might be something to make some quick jack.
Invest in hard assets.
We're talking about 65,000 that needs to be liquid though. So if
Okay.
if it needs to be liquid because your parents are going to need it, that's going to be hard to do with precious metals. They're not. They're a little bit clunky. Something that would give you a return that you can get in and out quickly would definitely be the market. Learning how to trade like the short on that, like I'm talking about the real estate short, or the commercial real estate short, and the retail short that's coming. That's actually happening now. That'd be a good way to move in and out and get money, get funds to them. But as far as putting it all in one thing, that's something you're going to have to really think about.
Well, I had someone contact me, and they wanted to put a good portion of their money in precious metals, and then they were going to pull it out in 6 months for a house down payment. And I actually talked them out of it. And because, we believe in precious metals, but I can't tell you to do that. And then in 6 months, what if precious metals go down and you don't have that money for a house down payment? So
Well,
it's
this
a
is
personal
unlikely.
choice.
It's unlikely.
It is, but it's still.
If they go to half price. But we live in the Thunderdome. Anything goes, So be careful putting all of everything into one thing. It's they'll scare you out. They'll run it down. There'll be a red candle going all the way down the chart, like, oh, it's going to go down forever, and you'll sell, and then it goes up.
Jonathan said, hi, Jonathan, you actually won some silver recently. Said, Warren Buffett said, if you only have $100 to invest in, do it in your own education. And that is true.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. Yep.
Another thing, I would learn how to trade. The stock market's just getting going. I know, I am bearish at the moment. But do you think the people that are in charge are going to do what's right and let the bubble pop and live through a pretty awful, severe recession, possibly a depression? No. They're going to, I think, they're going to dump it on Donald Trump's head or whoever gets elected if they don't steal it first. And then they're going to pump it back up with, I've got a list of the ways they do it. I'm getting into monetary policy so I can understand it perfectly and explain it to a third grader. So there's about 6 different ways and things and windows they can do, and they're going to use all of them to pump this thing up so far and high that it's the melt up, legitimately. Okay.
All right. Do you want to give away one more piece of silver, and then we'll maybe discuss one more item? And you want to give?
Sure.
I love giving one on live. We don't get to do that anymore.
Absolutely. Any questions? Does anybody have any questions as far as?
As long as you don't have friends, quote unquote, you're safe is safe. That's true. Buffett is sitting on 160 million. Buffett actually, it's more than that now. I think it's 189 million, or billion. Sorry, billion. And his holdings, some of his highest holdings, is actually in oil and gas. He just dumped more in it. Like last quarter of 2023, he just dumped more in it. So you guys put hashtag silver. We're going to talk a little bit more.
Wait a minute. I
and
want
pick a new one.
So I'm not being paid to talk about any companies at all. There's
hashtag silver. Go.
There's a few plays on natural gas that I'm watching. I'm not invested in at the moment. If you're into that, you can look at TELL, T-E-L-L. They're a local company around here that has probably $1 billion worth of infrastructure in natural gas. I know people that have been investing in that since it was, I don't know, $15, $20. It's like 40 cents now or something. The natural gas ETFs are starting to bump up a little bit. I know Boyle, it's hard to say because it's been split so many times, but it went down to like $12. There's a good chance it could go to 40 or 50. Keep in mind that it's very volatile. So I'm even scared to make videos about it because I'm scared somebody's going to put all of their 65,000 in it or something. You know what I'm saying? So that's a natural gas play. There's 2 natural gas plays. Natural gas is way down. We're going to need it. I don't know how long it's going to take, and there's a caveat to all of that. There's a place on the charts where the natural gas has another dip to make. If the charts are right on the long term, the prices now are around or were about the 1995 level. It looks like we have one more dip that could be gnarly. I'm talking 120, 130. I mean, $120, $1.30, maybe even lower natural gas prices. So that's why it's a hard one to get into, and you have to be really careful or you'll lose a lot of money. But you could take a look at them, start learning, look at the charts, and you'll get an idea. Okay, so natural gas, commodities. Think commodities that people are going to want that are way, way down right now. You know, like they're on a huge sale, and hold on to them for the next 4 or 5 years, and I think that'll be pretty solid.
All right, want to pick a winner? You're getting good at these charts. That's a lot of work you've been putting into it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun now that I've learned my lessons good hard.
Yeah, he'd come in some days.
All the way to the top.
He's like, don't even look. He said, he lost.
Oh, okay, there's the top of them. Up, down, silver winner is...
Pick it.
Demo. Demo.
D-E.
D-E-M-O.
D-E-M-O. If you're on here.
Hashtag silver, and it's a fleur-de-lis. A lot of people call it a fleur-de-lis. But that's the picture.
So
hey, I'd like to encourage you guys to put your picture on your YouTube. That's cool to see a face.
Text me
It's a little weird at first, but if they want to see you, they can see you.
Text me at 318-564-5823 and text me your mailing address, and I will drop it in the mail. So we had 2 winners today. That was fun.
So cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Eddie.
Thank you for doing that, man. It means a lot to the community that we're able to give away silver quite a bit. We've given away probably 40, 50 ounces lately.
Yeah.
That's wealth. Mm-hmm. Generational wealth. You can hand down, and we're going to need it. Solar panels. Imagine the thousands of acres of solar panels that take, I want to say it's like 20 grams per average solar panel, not to mention electric cars, not to mention equipment used in surgery, not to mention the phone that you're watching this video on or the computer. Silver is needed. That's why it's so cool. And the ratio's what is the ratio, by the way?
I don't know, but I can tell you a funny story. It's a comment. He goes, will Chris start playing elevator sounds in his videos when he's making his stock picks?
Woo! Do the fire! I might get a suction cup with Bravo hair on it and stick it on my head and look like a dirty Q-tip too.
Said M&J, I'm so far. How do I contact them? Thanks again. So Demo, you can email me also if you want. staylor@milesfranklin.com. And I'll put that in here real quick.
And if you want the Miles Franklin price chart with all the deals, Stacey sends out a weekly newsletter. We're not going to bombard you with a bunch of spam. I hate that.
No, and I send it out myself. I do not
She sends
hire
out
a third
herself?
party.
No,
So
straight
your
from
email
us.
is not sold, nor your cell phone numbers.
Will never be.
Never be.
There's a lot of money in an email list.
Yep.
That's why when you give somebody your email, you start getting a ton of spam mail because they sell it.
Yeah.
An email's worth about $1.
So I don't do
So
that.
can you imagine the people that put your email here and then they sell it to everybody?
Yep.
I'm not going to ever do that.
Nope.
Several things I'm not going to do anymore. Do we have any other questions? Stacey's got her hand on my leg. Does that mean you're ready to go? She's like, it's time to go.
You're not supposed to tell them that. That's our secret code.
I'm an open book. What can I say? Do we have any other questions? Have we hit the like button, subscribed, and rang the bell? That's a good
someone said
question.
that's how my PayPal was hacked. That is correct. And so that's why when we started this, I refused, because we even looked into doing a email service. And I said, nope, I'll just take the time and I'll copy and paste and I will do it myself. So any interest in ever investing in real estate again?
Wait.
I cannot wait. And I
yeah.
cannot wait to do a video on it of how we did it. But it's just,
It's right here at the end of the video. I want to tell them.
it's just not time for us.
I know, but
But you can do it with zero down.
see, you hear this kind of crap. Oh, zero down. No,
We did it 6 times.
we did it. We did it 6 times.
In about 2 years.
They paid me at closing. Mm-hmm. I walked away with a rental property with enough money to fix it up. And then the bank gave me a little bit more money.
We did.
Using other people's money.
Yep.
That's why I say all the time, keep your credit intact. That's how you make it to the Thunderdome. You don't have to have a bunch of money. If you show you've got what it takes, then there's people that will give you the money. Please take this and invest it for me. I need to make a return. That's how it works. We were able to do it consistently, never missed a rent, ever.
Yeah.
Never missed a
But
rent.
we did our homework.
I've got all that under wraps. I know how to do it. So the important thing is, well, there's a bunch of important things. I can't make a real estate video right now, but I am very excited. I'm not excited about people having to sell their home. But if it's not for investors, I had a lady the other day say, real estate investors are scum of the earth. That's sad. That is a true poverty mindset, and it is hard to break and hard to get out of. But try to think through that. What if investors didn't exist? What if people just didn't invest in rental properties?
The government would own everything.
Well, that's what their plan is now. But what about the people that don't make the right decisions? Should they still own the house that they couldn't afford in the first place? You know, should they be able to do all they want through life and still get all the benefits of the people that were frugal?
Yeah.
So, think through that.
Real quick, the winner of the silver just commented. I want to read this because I'm trying to stay up a little bit with the comments. Said, you guys have no idea. I'm sitting here in tears. My husband is recuperating from 5 strokes and a blood clot on his brain. You have no idea what this means. Prayers. Say up a prayer.
Was the jab part of that, you think?
I don't know. I don't know if you took.
That's a question.
If you took did your husband take the jab?
I've got more notes, guys, on that, and it makes me so mad that I can't really. I made a video the other day, and Stacey, you can't put it up, and it made me. I got upset. I was like, man, how am I supposed to talk about this and not be taken down forever? Mm-hmm. there, a multitude of people are talking about it.
So I know we're getting really long, but you guys, Naomi Wolf, she was huge in the media. Tucker
44
Carlson.
minutes long.
Tucker Carlson did a video with her the other day. He's had some great videos. Get on his website because he's speaking about things that can't be spoken about on YouTube and different things like that. Naomi Wolf used to be a huge Democrat, huge liberal. When it all came out, back in then, she made a post on Twitter. Literally overnight, she got canceled. And she was speaking out about it on one of his videos about how overnight her life changed, and the people that she thought were her friends were no longer her friends. She literally just said maybe we should question something, and it's very interesting, and it's more and more starting to come out. And I don't fault the people that did. It's just we're just trying to figure out what's going on. So prayers to you guys. And
so he did not take the medicine. We refused to comply.
Oh, man, my heart breaks
But
for
he
you.
had to test over 140 times for his job. So we learned about that at the Red Pill. Whatever was on the end of that Q-tip that they jammed down to your brain, it seemed like, there's possibly something up with that. They're putting the crap in the food. I mean, they're doing their best to get it in you. And I had to take one of those tests back when I was working in the field, and something wasn't right about it. I do know that. And the way they run a Q-tip down your nose that far, like you're checking the oil in an old Jeep or something. And
they'll tell you, I'm trying to be gentle.
Yeah, whatever. So there might be something to that. I don't have any proof. I just know that it was talked about at the Red Pill, and most of the things that are talked about there end up coming true, these wild conspiracy theories. I'd encourage you guys to learn about that. Social media is so scrubbed. It is. They're not going to let a few things get out. That's what's really strange is they're letting the injuries get out, and it's just open and free to talk about. Remember, as soon as I was over the target, they took me down. I did nothing that was not for the well-being of the people. All I did was post a simple video that was about 6 minutes long of a virologist that had been doing it for 30 years and knew exactly what was going on. Can't do that. You're gone. Oh, and your Facebook? It's gone too. Rental properties where we sold them, gone. And I say that all the time, but it still upsets me because that is freedom of speech. Poof.
Yep. Somebody just said, Roger said more live streams. We will do that. It's actually by request that we're back on Saturday in the morning.
Thank you for
with
being
coffee.
here. I'll show
I
up.
appreciate
Guys,
it.
if you show up, I'll show up on Saturday.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Saturday morning live stream. If I'm not here, I've got a job to do in Texas, consulting job. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But
We'll figure it out.
it's awesome. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. Stay in the comments. Have an awesome, awesome day. See you in the next one. Later. Well, how do you turn it off?
We forgot how to turn it off.
It's different now. Okay.
Oh, yes, about the bird flu. I know. We've been talking about that also. Let's figure out how to...
Let's see.
You get bonus time.
Bonus time. Nope. There it is. Okay, guys. Have an awesome day. Oh, I got a super chat.
Thank you, Mighty
Thanks,
Mike.
Mighty Mike. Bad to the bone.